All right. What is up, YouTube? What is going on, fellow fantasy people? And of course, what is up, the Catch fam? Hope you all are doing fantastic tonight. Got to fix. There we go. Well, hold on. Fixing some settings. There we go. Now we got it. We've got a football game going on, ladies and gentlemen. The Jaguars were playing some football in the first half. Now in the second half, starting to look a little not as good for the Jags. But we got a football game, 14-7. The Bengals came out here after the first half and they said, "No, thank you. We're going to put up some points tonight." Got a little tight end action there. Start the third quarter. Start the second half. Joe Burrows said, I am the one, not Trevor Lawrence. But let's see how this game unfolds, man. James Robinson owners is looking good. It truly is, man. I'm a James Robinson owner. Trevor Lawrence got a touchdown tonight. Okay, Trevor Lawrence believers looking good. Fourth down, they went for it, right? Could have handed it to James Robinson. Trevor tried to take it in. He didn't quite make it. So that was interesting. But Jaguars doing some things. I switched DJ Charkin literally 2 minutes before the game started in my 20-man league. And he got injured on the third play of the game. Broke his ankle. So it's been a fun night, Catch fam. It's been a fun night. At least the game is competitive, right? That's all you can ask for, man. So let's get it going, baby. Let's watch the second half of this beautiful Thursday night game between two young teams, right? Two teams people are kind of hating on. Bengals looking all right defensively overall. Will Joe Burrow step up? What is Joe Mixon doing tonight? All kinds of things going on, man. Dan Arnold on the Jags looking okay. Chenault Jr. making some plays. Let's get into it, baby. Let's get into it, Catch fam. Let's do some fantasy Q&A and let's watch some football. And if you so wish, there's going to be some Madden on your screen as well. Let's get into it. Rendon Die. Hey, what's up, 100? What is up, brother? Good to see you as always, man. Happy to have you in the chat. Hope you are doing fantastic, man. Happy to have you as always. Hope you stick around for a while. Let's see what we can't get into tonight. Made for TV _ our most loyal subscriber, baby. What is going on, baby? Good to see you in the chat, homie. Happy to have you here as always, man. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope all of the Catch fam is doing fantastic tonight. Needed that 1-yard touchdown by Robinson. So did I. Have him starting in both my leagues, man. I think he can add to this. I mean, he's been looking good out there tonight. That was a bad drive to start the second half that we just saw by the Jaguars, right? But, they got some time, right? They got some time to add to these numbers. And Urban Meyer looks like he's finally understanding how to implement a running back into his offense, which is good for those of us who own James Robinson, man. And, yeah, I was super high on Robinson in the offseason. I know a lot of you guys took my word for that as we got a 1st and 10 for the Bengals. So I'm happy to see James Robinson somewhat coming to fruition here. So let's see what the Bengals do here. Toss to Joe Mixon. Good blocking up front. Finally a play by Joe Mixon. He has not been very involved tonight. The Jags look good defensively in the first half, right? So made for TV _ happy that you got some fantasy points out of Robinson tonight. And like I said when we talked in the comments earlier, at least it looks like Urban Meyer is finally getting this guy involved, who was a great running back last year. Good play by Joe Mixon there. Casey, start Matt Stafford versus Arizona or start Dak versus the Panthers? It's a good question, man. Two stiff defenses overall. I think both are actually going to be pretty good starts this week as we get a handoff to Joe Mixon. First down for the Bengals. Yeah, but, two stiff defenses overall, man. When I'm looking at what game out of the two is going to put up more points, I'm looking for Matt Stafford versus the Arizona Cardinals. And don't get me wrong, man, I think Dallas is actually going to have a pretty good game. I mean, Carolina's looked better up front than they have in the secondary, and, the Cowboys are going to be able to come out and, really exploit poor secondaries. J.C. Horn, breaking his foot in the Panthers losing him for the season definitely hurts the Panthers to a large degree here as Burrow drops back on first down. Good catch there. There is a flag down. But yeah, if you're asking me, man, just looking at the offenses involved, I think Arizona and the Rams could turn into somewhat of a shootout, man. But don't get me wrong, both those defenses are very good. But I think within that game, both offenses are going to be trying to outpace each other. And I would personally roll with Matty Stafford. But I do like Dak Prescott still. I mean, I do believe in this Panthers defense. I do believe in Arizona's defense. But I think the Cowboys have a better chance of getting up, against the Panthers. And the Panthers are going to struggle offensively more so to stay involved in that game, especially with, injury to Christian McCaffrey. And I still believe in this Panthers offense, don't get me wrong, right? But overall, I think the Cardinals and the Rams turns into more of a shootout and a game in which the offenses can actually keep up with one another. So I would start Stafford over Dak Prescott, but hey, man, I'm not betting against Dak Prescott by any means. I still think he is a very reliable fantasy quarterback on a weekly basis. But thank you, Casey, for the question, man. If you have any other fantasy topics you want to go over tonight, give us a holler, man, and we will get into it. So let's see here. 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Got a man in motion. I think this is a run here. And it's a play action. Dump off to Mixon, who does not catch it. Incomplete pass. All right. Let's see here. James, what is going on, brother? Good to see you in the chat, man. Hope you're doing fantastic. Happy to have you here tonight in the stream. Ridley or Godwin for the rest of the season? If you're asking me, man, I'm rolling with Godwin. Just looking at each respective offense, right? I think Godwin is going to have more opportunities to have those big games, right? And I would roll with Godwin. I like the Buccaneers and where they're at far more than, where the where the Atlanta Falcons are, So I would roll with Godwin. As we see another first down from Tyler Boyd and the Bengals here. Bengals looking to get this thing rolling, knowing that they're playing an opponent that should not beat them. So, yeah, man, I would roll with Godwin on the rest of the year. I do think that he's going to have a better season overall, and really just looking at his respective offense as a whole. All right, man, Bengals got another first down. Let's see what they do here, guys. Timeouts. Super excited. All right, let's see here. Real good. What is up, brother? Happy to see you in the chat, man. Happy to have you here, as always, man. Hope you stick around for a while for tonight's stream. Hey, Catch, James Robinson is really looking nice. Yeah, man, he's looked good tonight, man. And definitely happy to see it. As you guys know that I own James Robinson in both my leagues. Yeah, I mean, Urban Meyer's implementing him correctly, kind of setting him loose, and he's one of those running backs that does get better, as the game goes on, right? So the way this game script is going, it's kind of folding on the Jaguars, right? And we need the Jags to, keep cool under pressure here as the Bengals are looking to put up at least 3 points on this drive, and Trevor Lawrence and company, they had that drive where they got down to the 1 yard line and they didn't. I mean, personally, I think with a young team like this and a young quarterback, you got to kick the field goal, right? I mean, those 3 points do a lot in terms of confidence for a young quarterback. I mean, it's not a drive where you go out and score a touchdown. It's a tough run by Joe Mixon, picks up a first down, but it's not a complete failure of a drive where you put up 0 points, right? If you go out and kick the field goal. And even then, that 4th and 1, I feel like James Robinson should have got more involved on that play, right? And but nonetheless, man, there was a drive here that could have had more fantasy points for us tonight, and did not. So, in terms here, we need this game script to kind of flip to where the Jacksonville Jaguars are able to stay relevant, especially if the Bengals come away with a touchdown here. Let's see as they hand off to Joe Mixon once again. A good gain by him, and we'll get a second down. But yeah, dude, I completely agree. I do think that James Robinson is looking very nice tonight. All right, let's see. Jason Kenobi, what is going on, man? Happy to have you in the stream. As always, hope you are doing fantastic tonight, brother. Let's see. Just traded Mike Evans, Bobby Trees, Chase Claypool, Rondell Moore for Robbie Anderson and Tyreek Hill. A lot of trade capital there. A lot of trade capital, but I think it's a good time to buy Tyreek Hill low. I mean, I hope you have, well, I guess you bought him high, I should say. I hope you have some waiver wire players that you feel good about set in place, because you are obviously going to have 2 empty spots. But, yeah, man, I don't think it's a bad play. I think you got arguably the best receiver in the entire National Football League. So, yeah, and I think it's a good time to trade for him, as a lot of fantasy owners are starting to get down in the dumps about a lot of those Kansas City Chiefs players outside of Travis Kelce and Patty Mahomes. But listen, man, if you're asking me, this Kansas City Chiefs team is going to be able to turn this thing around. I mean, I think this division looks fantastic, man. I mean, it looks very, very competitive as Joe Burrow drops back on third down, finds his man, first down to Tyler Boyd. But yeah, this division, man, I mean, Broncos, Raiders, coincidentally in our Madden game right now, Chiefs, right? I mean, this division, it looks very competitive. I didn't even mention the Chargers, right? Chargers look damn good. They beat the Chiefs over the weekend, right? Man, this receiving core on the Chargers really believes in this quarterback, Justin Herbert. And for good reason, too, right? But that is a scary team. The Broncos, they look very complete, if you're asking me, man. Raiders look like they can beat anyone in the National Football League. As Joe Burrow's fighting. He's fighting. Did he score? Or is he down at the 1? They're going to call him down at the 1, I think. Wow, I thought he almost scored there, man. Bengals fans are saying it's a touchdown. And I don't blame him one bit. But yeah, Jason Kenobi, man, if you got the conviction in Tyreek Hill, then it's a good trade, man. But I do hope that you have a couple players lined up, to kind of replace some of that value that you did lose. But, hey, I do think that Robbie Anderson is in a position to potentially break out on the season. I know he's really been underperforming and underwhelming to fantasy owners. But, yeah, I do believe that, he is in an opportunity, especially with Christian McCaffrey going down, that he can come out and definitely perform much better. It looks like we get a QB sneak by Joe Burrow for the score. Tie things up. We got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Jaguars are saying it's no good, but I think Burrow is definitely in. 14-14, man. Presumably. Presuming that they make the extra point. QB sneak, man. Man, both these young quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, actually pretty involved in the run game to some degree. I mean, not like in a Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson type of sense, but in the sense that they are kind of putting their shoulder pads down and attempting some of these goal line touchdowns and short runs and things like that. So a little bit scary. I mean, if you're one of these head coaches, but I mean, it's good to see them implemented that way as well, I guess. So, yeah, should be a score by Joe Burrow here. He's rocking the LSU football band. So, yeah, man, let me know if you guys have any players starting tonight. Looks like they're reviewing that score by Joe Burrow. But let me know if you guys have any Bengals starting tonight, if you guys have any Jaguars starting tonight. I've got Trevor Lawrence and James Robinson in my 20-man league. And like I said, for some reason, I don't want to say for some reason, I switched DJ Chark into my starting lineup. I had a feeling, just a weird feeling, like let's just roll with this game. Maybe something, will come out of this game. I just threw an awful interception in Madden. I just had one of those weird Thursday Night Football feelings. Like this game might actually be pretty relevant because no one's expecting it to be that relevant. And yeah, put DJ Chark in literally 2 minutes before the game started. He broke his ankle. But I got a lot riding on this game, man. I got Trevor Lawrence right. I got our guy James Robinson in both my leagues. So, listen, Robinson had a great first half, but I need him to kind of step up here, especially in my 20-man league. You know, I need him to kind of make up the points that I was hoping DJ Chark would get. And yeah, I mean, I've been plagued by injuries, guys. I mean, another one of my fantasy players breaks his ankle, right? I've been plagued by injuries. I'm telling you guys, been saying it. I'm cursed, man. I'm the catch. I don't know, man. I think I'm cursing some of these fantasy players out here, guys. So, Jason Kenobi, I got Marvin Jones starting tonight. Not going so great. Yeah, it's been a weird game for Jones, man. I mean, you would think, especially with Chark going down, that Trevor would kind of, look his way a little bit more. But yeah, only 2 targets. He's caught both balls too. 17 receiving yards. Full PPR. He's just under 4 points. So there's still plenty of time, man. I hope he gets an end zone for you because it looks like he's going to have to. But yeah, this game has been a little bit strange, right? The Jaguars have been running the football a lot. They've been using that new tight end, Dan Arnold, right? Chenault Jr. has made some big plays, right? I mean, a guy who I of course, dropped in my 12-man league. Let's see where he's at. Yep. He's got a rushing attempt for 11 rushing yards, 3 targets, 2 receptions for 59 receiving yards. So full PPR looking at 9 points overall. So, I mean, really looking at that big reception that he had, before the second half, right? And they're reviewing this score. They might reverse this, man. I don't know if that was a Burrow touchdown. They might call him down at the 1. Call reversed. Yeah, calling it back. LeBron's brain, what is going on, brother? Happy to have you in the chat tonight. Happy to have you in the stream, as always. I would really like a Boyd TD right about now. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I know a lot of fantasy owners who started Boyd tonight against this Jaguars defense who looked very good in the first half, but might be breaking a little bit here in the second half. So, listen, man, I'm expecting some points to happen in the second half of this football game. I mean, we're already pretty deep into the third quarter, don't get me wrong, but I'm expecting some points, man. So, I hope for you that Boyd gets in the end zone. I hope for Jason Kenobi, Marvin Jones gets in the end zone. So it can certainly happen, guys. Don't lose faith. At least you didn't start DJ Chark when you didn't have him in your starting lineup originally. And then you put him in 2 minutes before the game kicked off. And he breaks his ankle on the third play of the game. So could be worse. I can guarantee you that. I mean, 2 points, 5 points is better than 0 points and a broken ankle. I'm telling you guys, I've got the injury bug this year, man. I feel like every year in every league, right, someone gets the injury bug. And this year, I feel like I've got it in both my leagues, man. I mean, it's been rough. Joe Mixon gets the handoff. Not first down, right? Touchdown. Joe Mixon. So if you are a Joe Mixon owner, you definitely are pretty happy there because the touchdown by Burrow gets reversed and called back. And then the obvious handoff to our guy, Joe Mixon, comes, right? So if you're a Mixon owner, you're definitely celebrating right now. Jason Kenobi says Boyd's at 9.4. Pretty solid. Yeah, let's pull up the stats on Boyd, man. Jamar Chase has had a couple nice grabs in this game as well, man. But nothing in the end zone. I mean, the end zone has really been, for both teams, revolving around the running game. Yeah. In full PPR, I mean, Tyler Boyd's got 5 receptions for 87 receiving yards. So, at least in my full PPR league, that's about 13 little bit over 13 points. So still a good night, but I can definitely feel you, LeBron's brain. You want to add to it, get another score, right? Or get an actual score to put up a better stat line, right? And man, I want a touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence to James Robinson. That would be very, very helpful for myself. So we will see how the rest of this game unfolds, guys. While you guys are hanging out in here, man, please go ahead and smash that like button, as it does help get the stream to new viewers and gives us that little boost in the YouTube algorithm, and really would appreciate that tonight. But nonetheless, man, appreciate all you guys just coming out and hanging out as well. LeBron's brain, 13.7 in full PPR. I need someone to overperform to win this week. I feel that, man. Yeah, I truly, truly do. And I'm in the same boat right now, as I've got 3 Jaguars starting in my 20-man league. And one of them is a broken-ankled DJ Chark. So, yeah. I need James Robinson and or Trevor Lawrence to come out of this game with a very good stat line, right? By Trevor Lawrence standards and James Robinson standards on the season, they both have good stat lines at the moment. But I need better stat lines. We need to see some improved stat lines here, guys. So we'll see what happens, man. Whoa, bad pass at madden. Yeah, I do think we're going to see some points here. At least one more score by each team, if not more. I mean, that's kind of the way this game is going, right? So I can definitely see some Marvin Jones action, some Tyler Boyd action, some Jamar Chase action, hopefully some James Robinson and Trevor Lawrence action. On my TV, we've got Snoop Dogg on the Corona commercial. So, yeah, Super Bowl halftime performance announced. We got Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary Blige, excuse me. I'm hyped for that, although I never really watched Super Bowl halftime show. So, let me know if you guys are excited. I mean, I love Dr. Dre and Eminem and Snoop Dogg. And I love all those artists, actually. Love Kendrick, and Mary Blige is on a lot of good tracks, too. So, I don't know how PG they're going to have to make that halftime performance show. But see what happens, man. Thought that was a cool announcement today, I guess. So, let's see. Jaguars about to receive the football. We've got the, kind of this matchup of last year's number 1 overall pick and the year prior's number 1 overall pick. So definitely an interesting dynamic there. Agnew is a good kick returner, man. Of course, we saw what he can do when he returned that 109-yard field goal attempt, right? So, oh gosh, we just got smacked in Madden. Holy cow. Holy cow. But, yeah, man, let me know what else you guys are looking for in tonight's game. Not just from a fantasy perspective, but, in general from a football perspective, what some of your takeaways are, as we've got a 1st and 10 here for the Jaguars. Let's see what happens here. Quick throw to Shenault Jr. They've ran this play a couple times. I feel like not just this game, but I feel like they run that play quite a bit. Overall on the season, just a quick kind of dart to Shenault Jr. Right? I mean, I guess it's a good kind of takes the pressure off Trevor Lawrence, right? So let's see here. 2nd and 6. Jaguars. Let's see what they can't muster up. Yeah, Shenault Jr. is having a good night, man. I mean, 63 receiving yards. Full PPR. It's a good night. Little play action here. Lawrence is looking. Who's he got? That's a catch, man. I don't know who 39 is, but I'd say that's a catch. Is that Agnew? Yeah, they're getting Agnew involved out there, man. I like it. That's a catch, man. 1 foot, and he got the toes down on the second foot. It's a good catch by a special teams guy. I like that they're getting him involved. It's very Urban Meyer-ish. Is Trevor Lawrence, once again, like I was talking about. Whoa! He runs, and they're looking for the late hit, and they get it, man. Ooh, and Robinson getting all up in the Bengals' face. I don't know who number 20 on the Bengals is, but he hit Lawrence. Lawrence slides. Number 20 goes in, gives him the extra nod, and they throw the flag. I think that's a good call, man. But yeah, like I was talking about, they're kind of, both these teams, they let these quarterbacks get hit, man. But 2 good plays by the Jaguars there, man. Good catch by Agnew, man. Boom. Takes the shot at Lawrence, man. Yeah, Robinson all up in his face. Oh, it's Eli Apple. And now Eli Apple's on the sideline. And the guy looking at Eli Apple had his butt crack out. So that's dope. That's what's up, man. All right, Trevor Lawrence, 2nd and 10. Let's see what these Jags can't do. Handed to James Robinson. No, it's another fake. And Lawrence stumbles. Flag on the play. Man, I don't know. I don't mind them, involving Trevor Lawrence, but you also got to protect him. I mean, non-contact injuries happen. I mean, I think that play would have been fine. It would have been a first down if they just handed it off to James Robinson. I mean, I think Myers is getting a little, trying to get a little fancy, man. And you got to protect this quarterback, especially with what you saw on that last play, man. All right, let's see. LeBron's brain. My opponent has a Bengals defense, so you love to see that. Yeah, man. I know Bengals were a hot start defensively, with the way that the Jaguars have been playing. And we've got a 3rd and 2 for the Jaguars. And Steven had them on his must-start defense of the week. I know this was a hot stream for the week. And it made a lot of logical sense looking at the stats. Let's see what happens here. Bad throw by Lawrence, incomplete pass. End of the drive, man. I just don't know if this Jaguars team is quite there, man. There's a lot of these just drives that they're not finishing. That was a bad throw, man. I mean, and I feel like on 2nd down there, if you just hand the ball off, then you're fine. But you got to do this fancy play, man. I don't understand. And they're out there, they're going for it, apparently. Real good. They keep running with Trevor Lawrence with the QB run. Yeah, man, I'm like, are they overdoing this? Jaguars are going for it. Urban Meyer says, I don't care. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. 4th and 2 in Madden. We just made it. Gets the ball off Chenault Jr. First down. Good play. I like it. Trevor to Chenault. I like it. LeBron's brain. I wish there would be less flags. Yeah, I don't disagree, man. Get a lot of flags these days, right? Oh my gosh, this is okay. I thought we were going to throw another pick in Madden. Good play there on 4th down. Trevor Lawrence hyped up, man. I like it. All right, let's get some James Robinson action, man. Me and Rio Goated are waiting. All right, here we go. About 2 yards by James Robinson. At least he's getting the ball. Okay, that was a lot of hype on that commentary there for a very insignificant play, but nonetheless, Dan Arnold. Oh, that's Jacob Hollister. Jacob Hollister's coming in. Yeah, man, Tavon Austin's playing a lot of ball right now for this Jaguars team, which is I think it's kind of interesting, man. All right, let's see here. 2nd and 8, Jaguars. Fakes the handoff. What's Trevor going to do? Good pass to Hollister, who's fighting. Gets an extra yard or so on the play. Should bring up 3rd down, though. Third and 3. All right, let's see what these Jags can't do here. Let me know if you guys got any fantasy Q&A, anything racing through your minds for the week, anything you guys are contemplating, starts, sits, waiver wire additions, last minute waiver wire additions, trades you're considering. Let me know, guys. All right, 3rd and 3. Lawrence steps back. He finds his man. Chenault Jr.'s. He's going. He's out of bounds. Man, Chenault Jr.'s looking like a stud tonight, man. I think that Chark injury has really helped. Hate to see the injury to Chark, man, especially when I own him in fantasy. But good play by Chenault Jr., man. Maybe I gave up on Chenault Jr. A little too early, man. Lawrence getting hype out there, guys. James L. Trade Ridley or Godwin for Lockett and Cooks. Yeah. Trade Ridley for both of them. It would be what I would do. Absolutely. I would hold on to Godwin. I like him more than Ridley. I think Ridley still has a chance to have a good year. But if you're getting Cooks... Oh, let's go. Come on, James Robinson. Okay, that was a bad play. If you're getting Cooks and Lockett, I think you're getting equal or better value out of both of those receivers. I like Godwin more. That's who I would keep. And I would all day trade Calvin Ridley for both of those guys. As LeBron's brain says, yeah, what the F? James, take that. Yeah, I think that's a good trade, man. I think you should take it while it's on the table. Real good. Chenault is getting a decent amount of targets right now. He absolutely is. I just got hyped, man, when James Robinson caught that last pass. But, yeah, Chenault Jr. looks good out there. Like I said, I hate to see the injury to, our guy DJ Chark, right? But I think it's definitely helping Chenault Jr. Let me pull up the stats, see where we're at with our guy Chenault. Yeah, I mean, he's got the one rushing attempt for 11 rushing yards, which doesn't really matter. But 6 targets, 5 receptions, 88 receiving yards. He's making the most out of those targets, man. He's got Tennessee next week, and then Miami, man. He's got some good matchups, too. I hope that this Jags team can kind of turn it around, man. I do. A lot of young talent, and I hope that they can turn it around. But I also own Trevor Lawrence in my 20-man league, so I really hope that they can turn it around for my fantasy's sake, too. But they look all right tonight, guys. They do. Let's see. James out. Thanks, guys. Yeah, man, no problem. But, yeah, I think that's a really good trade, man. I'm happy that you're getting that opportunity. And like I said, I still think Calvin Ridley's going to have a good season overall. But I think Lockett and Cooks are just as valuable, man. I really think that's a good trade for you. And I just personally have higher conviction in Godwin. So I would hold on to Godwin. I would trade Calvin Ridley. And I would take Lockett and Cooks, as I think, like I said, they have at the worst equal value. And at the best, I think they both have higher ceilings. So it's a good trade, man. I'm happy that it's going to happen for you, my guy. LeBron's brain, this should go into overtime. Big fan of that. I hope it does, man. More football for us to watch. More potential fantasy points for us. Yeah, I'm all for it. Especially being that I own Trevor Lawrence and I need him to have a really good game, man. James Robinson. So I'm all for overtime, man. We're in the late night stream. Let's get to it, baby. Why not? More football. Why not? Jason Kenobi, please. Jones TD. Could happen, man. Could happen. I hope it does. Hope it does for our guy Jason Kenobi, man. But certainly could. So we'll see. Real good. And I hope James Robinson gets a touchdown right here, but we will see, though. Yep. Marvin Jones or James Robinson. That's what we're hoping for, Catch Fam. If you guys got any other bets, let us know. But at the moment, it's Jones or Robinson. 2nd and goal. Both these QBs playing all right tonight. No interceptions. Big part of it, right? Especially for Trevor Lawrence, man. Whew. All right, let's see. I mean, they're pretty far back from their territory. Let's see who he targets. He's got a man on him. Yeah, it's a sack. That could help. That could help you, Jason Kenobi. A flag down. But if they're pushed a little bit further back, man, that could help your chances overall for Jones, of course. Aaron and Marvin Jones or Kupp and Hunt. Gosh, man, the way Cooper Kupp is playing. Oh, wow. Did you guys see me miss that sack right there? Cooper Kupp has the most receptions, the most receiving yards, and the most touchdowns out of any receiver in the NFL this season so far. Very, very, very hard for me to not recommend Cooper Kupp being on your fantasy team. He is going absolutely ballistic. But I do think that Aaron Jones is a much better fantasy running back than Kareem Hunt. Although I do think you can flex Kareem Hunt on a weekly basis. I would say he's more consistent, right? So the trade-off is you have arguably the best receiver in fantasy football right now, the most consistent at least. And then you have a little bit more of an inconsistent running back. But in terms of the flip side, right, you lose a more consistent running back and you gain, or then you're losing a less consistent receiver, right? If that made sense. So I don't think it's a bad trade by any means, but I would like to see the rest of your running backs to see if I personally feel confident in where you're at overall with your roster. But I don't think that's a bad trade, man. Let's see. Real good. Well, James Robinson not getting a touchdown, not this drive. And then he said, yes, holding. Yes. Yeah, that helps. But even being pushed back a little bit, could have potentially still seen some sort of pass play. James Robinson up the middle. Go, baby! That's a touchdown. How are you going to call him down, man? That was a score. They're saying his knee was down. Let's see. Let's see the replay. And that's a score. Sorry, Jason Kenobi. Jags better, they better review this, man. They better challenge that. If not, they should just give it to him one again. Let him run it again. Man, they're not even going to challenge it. Put him back in the game. Do it for real, goated. Are they reviewing it? They're challenging it. That's a TD, man. I agree, real goated. I just saw your comment. I think it's touchdown. Sorry, Jason Kenobi. We got more time for a Marvin Jones score. But I truly think that's touchdown, man. Interesting. What is points bet? Do you guys do sports betting? I don't know if I'm allowed to promote that. I'm just curious if any of you guys ever use like FanDuel or DraftKings. I don't know what points bet is, but they got Drew Brees. Oh, we gotta win this Madden game, man. All those people that were told to sit Robinson are pissed right now. Yeah, and I mean, like I told you guys, I was starting him in both my leagues, so kind of didn't really have a choice. But I mean, we kind of just wanted to see a larger sample size out of James Robinson before we potentially overreacted to last week, right? But it's obvious at this point that Urban Meyer is going to get him involved, which is a good thing, of course, for fantasy owners of James Robinson. So, yeah, he's having a good game. And I'm glad that I didn't necessarily boldly say to sit him, right? Yeah, we'll see how it goes the rest of the season. But right now, things are looking good if you own James Robinson. So I'm happy to see that. Definitely wasn't one of my must-start running backs. I'll tell you guys that much. But nonetheless, I'm happy to see him performing well, and it's a good outlook for the rest of the season for those of us who do own James Robinson. All right, our Madden game's going into overtime. Could be a sign of what's going to happen here on Thursday Night Football. Man, I'm just glad that this is a competitive game, man. We've got something fun to watch. So there's no way that they don't call that a touchdown, right? Though, I mean, that was pretty clearly neither knee hit the ground. All right, looks like we should get the call in a second here. Oh, it's a touchdown. Okay. Sorry, Jason Kenobi. Plenty of time for a Marvin Jones score, though. But yeah, James Robinson gets the TD. And for a second, I thought the Jags were going to miss that extra point. So I really needed that touchdown, man. But at this point, I really need... I mean, Trevor Lawrence having a pretty good game. He's got about 18 fantasy points. So in my 20-man league, even though I started a DJ Chark who broke his ankle, we're looking okay. We've got about just under 49 points between Trevor Lawrence and James Robinson. So my 12-man league, I've also got James Robinson starting. So could definitely look a lot worse. I got a trade offer for James Robinson as well this past week. And I said, no thank you. I ain't ready to give up on my guy. JR. Man, I was really high on James Robinson in the offseason, man. So, the other guy I was really high on was David Montgomery, right? And then Josh Jacobs. So, we're kind of all over the place with those kind of third-round running backs that I felt good about. All right, let's see here. Jason Kenobi, damn, I need all the points I can get this week. I hear you, man. I hear you. I've been there before. You got plenty of time to get more points. I'm assuming you're facing a pretty good team, and that's what's worrying you. I've been there, man. Last week I was facing a really good team, my 20-man league, and they performed very poorly. And but still, I lost by 9 points. So I can definitely feel you, man. All right, 1st and 10 for the Bengals. We got some fourth quarter action going on. What was that, man? What did you guys see that throw in Madden? He's about to have another back-to-back 20-point game in reference to James Robinson, says Real Goated. LeBron's brain, damn, should I trade Julio for Robinson? If you feel desperate enough at the running back position, I mean, right now he's looking like an RB1. I mean, I still think he's going to have some games where he's not performing as well. I mean, that's kind of any running back one, right? But, you know, really before I advise against any trades, I'd like to see a full fantasy roster. I know some of you guys have sent me your entire roster more than once, but it just kind of helps me, in my perspective, you know, kind of gauge whether I should recommend that trade or not. So, Bengals pick up a first down. Joe Mixon getting more involved here. I like Joe Mixon this year, man. The Bengals really just have figured out that they kind of have to rely on him, right? And yeah, LeBron's brain, I don't think it's the worst trade to consider by any means. All right, let's see here. Jason Kenobi, I'm facing the high-scoring 3-0 projected first-place team. Whoa. He's got Henry, Ridley, Kupp, and Mike Williams. Oh. You know, the interesting thing is sometimes you can face those really stacked teams and they just have a bad week, right? I mean, you know, every team has that week where just no one shows up, right? So, you know, don't get too discouraged. But Henry and Williams look very, very scary right now, man. And Kupp. So you probably do need a lot of points. Just being 100% real with you like you already know, man. I wouldn't worry as much about Ridley, although, I mean, I'm not hating on him. But, and, you know, in conjunction with those other players, right? But, yeah. You never know what's going to happen, man. That's the beauty of fantasy football, right? LeBron's brain, I have 7 mid-range wide receivers because of a truck trade. Okay, say no more. I remember now. Trade Julio for James Robinson. I don't think it's that bad of a trade at all, as I now remember that you drunkenly traded for a ton of receivers. So, yeah, I think it's a good trade, man. Burrow finds Boyd. Good catch by Boyd, man. Should be a first down after 3rd and 6. Good throw by Burrow there, man. Good catch, too. Bryce Davis, what is going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you are having a fantastic night. And oh no, Boyd looks a little banged up. That's not good news. Robbie or Debo at flex this week? I would roll with Debo out of those two guys, man. I do think that we're going to see an uptick in targets for our guy, Robbie Anderson, right? But I still think Debo's the safer bet overall. So thank you for the question, man. Let me know if you want me to emphasize any more on that. I'm still scared about Robbie Anderson, man. I think it does make sense that he's going to see more targets, of course, with Christian McCaffrey going down, right? Seattle's been pretty good against opposing wide receivers, but in full PPR, Debo's had at least 10 points every week, and obviously the big game in week 1 as well, right? And I think he's a safer bet this week as Jamar Chase picks up a first down. But yeah, I mean, Anderson just hasn't been what we thought he's going to be, right? And I actually think the way that offense is looking, that Darius Marshall Jr. might get involved a little bit more, man. Bryce Davis, I asked about Robbie because of Diggs. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. But if you're asking me, man, I would still roll with Deebo Samuel. I think he's the better start overall. I like Deebo Samuel right now. That's where I'm standing with him, man. But thank you for the question. Let us know if you have any other fantasy Q&A tonight. And hope you consider joining the Catch fam tonight. But nonetheless, man, we appreciate you coming out for the stream. But if you do enjoy the stream, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It truly helps out the channel. But please let me know overall if you have any other fantasy Q&A, man. LeBron's brain. Okay, he's good. Everyone calm down. Okay, good. Happy to see that, man. Just, hey, we're looking out for you, brother. Jamar Chase gets another reception here on second down. Bryce Davis. Debo is safer, but right now I'm facing James Robinson, so it's starting off scary. Yeah, it's never a good feeling when you're stacked up against a good, Thursday night performance, right? Always gives you the jitters going into Sunday, but nonetheless, man, you got plenty of time for your team to perform, right? But yeah, if you're asking me, I do agree with you. I think Deebo Samuel is the safer option overall, and I would roll with him. Man, 87. I mean, there's a flag on the play, but Uzma for the Bengals. Looking like a good fantasy start, guys. Do we need to consider him? I don't know. We'll find out if this play is called back or not, and then maybe talk about that. But looks like it's on the defense. Penalties declined. Oh, my gosh. Uzma. Get him on your fantasy roster, apparently. Second touchdown of the night. Wow. Good. I like this play design, man. Beats Miles Jack. No one catches him. Good score. Good score. I don't know if that helps anyone, but Uzma. He's our guy. All right, let's see here, guys. Man, this one might truly go to overtime. See what happens. All right, let's see. LeBron's brain, that might have been PI. Bryce Davis, thanks for the advice. Absolutely, man, of course. Like I said, man, if you enjoyed the stream tonight, hope you consider hitting that subscribe button, becoming part of the Catch fam. But nonetheless, man, appreciate you coming out and asking a question in the stream tonight. And if you have any other questions, man, please let us know. That's what we're here for, man. Jason Kenobi, oh, by the way, you asked about my RB situation regarding a possible Aaron Jones trade. I have Zeke and Connor in addition to Jones. So you'd be gaining Kareem Hunt and Cooper Kupp. and you'd be losing Jones and Jones, right? Is that what you said? Aaron Jones and Marvin Jones? Hold on, I'll scroll up. I will scroll up. Yeah, man, you're losing both to Jones. I don't think that's that bad of a trade, man. But you just have to understand you're losing the value at the RB position or gaining the value at the wide receiver position. So I don't think it's a bad trade because you're getting Cooper Kupp. But at the same time, you're losing Aaron Jones. So there's a little bit of a trade-off there, of course. But overall, man, it just, I mean, I think you can start Zeke and Kareem Hunt every week. And I think James Conner is an okay flex option on a weekly basis as well. I like Kareem Hunt more as a flex option, but I mean, you're adding Cooper Kupp to your roster, right? But just keep in mind, Aaron Jones is RB2 right now, so it's a very tough decision overall, man. Let me know what other thoughts you have, Jason Kenobi, on the trade overall. Where you're standing and with all of that as well, man. LeBron's brain, he never got his head turned around. Yeah, that was it was a good score, right? I mean, Uzma. Is Uzma available in your fantasy league, guys? That's what I want to know. I'm about to pick him up in my 20-man league. It's always fun just looking back saying, like, oh, if I started this random guy no one thought about, I would have this many points right now. Uzma's got 4 targets, 3 receptions, 61 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns for 21.1 fantasy points overall. So that's what's up, man. That's how fantasy works, right? Steven, what is up, brother? Happy to see you in the chat. Happy to have our co-host, Steven Scott, in the chat, man. Hope you're doing fantastic, Steven. Happy to have you here as always, my guy. Everyone give Steven a shout-out and a big round of applause. Steven, we have missed you. Your guy, Jamar Chase, having a pretty good game, but not in the end zone, man. Steven, I want to get your thoughts on James Robinson. As you say, the Bengals defense looking rough. Yeah. We talked about that a little bit, man. I mean, it made a lot of logical sense, right, to start them this week, the way Trevor Lawrence has been playing. But, hey, man, these short weeks, right, these Thursday night football games, I never, and I mean never, I never expect defense. These guys are tired, man. They just played like 2 days ago. They got to get on the airplanes, man. These players are on the airplanes. They're tired. Get out there on Thursday night. I expect no defense, right? Most defense we're going to see is what Carolina Panthers did last week against the Houston Texans, right? So Uzma, showing the replay. Man, I like Uzma. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I like him a lot, right? Steven, happy to have you in the chat, my guy. Let me know what you're thinking about James Robinson. All right, let's see here. Iden, what is going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Happy to have you in the chat as Trevor Lawrence makes a good little chuck to Marvin Jones right there. Bring up a second down. Should I trade Lockett for Chris Godwin? It's a good question, man. I like both those guys on the season. I truly do. Let's look at some stats. Why not? Here's the deal with Lockett. He's going to have these games where he has 30 fantasy points. He's going to have these games for like 3 or 4 consistent weeks where he has like 7 to 8 fantasy points, right? And while Godwin consistently has a pretty high ceiling as well, I think he's a little bit more consistent. So I like both of those guys a lot. I think the more consistent player is going to be Chris Godwin. But you could argue that Tyler Lockett has a little bit of a higher ceiling, right? So it's a tough call. I view them in almost pretty similar fashion. But I like Chris Godwin in terms of a little bit more consistency overall. So I don't think it's a bad trade by any means, man. So let me know if you want me to elaborate more on that for you, man. Lawrence dropping back here, 3rd and 2. Finds his man, Shenault Jr. Shenault Jr.'s eating tonight, guys. It's going crazy. I dropped him weeks ago. I said, you are not performing. I don't want you. Give me Henry Ruggs or whoever else I traded, or whoever else I got on the waiver wire. KJ Osborne, right? Yeah, Shenault Jr.'s looked great tonight. Just imagine if DJ Chark didn't break his ankle. LeBron's brain. As bad as it sounds, if I make playoffs, it's because someone's wide receiver gets injured. Hey, man, we are officially for drunk trading here at the Catch. In honor of LeBron's brain, we condemn drunk trading in your fantasy football leagues because could end up with all the receivers in your league. Steven says Godwin is much more predictable start week to week. Yeah, I do agree with that. Think he will finish higher than Lockett as well. The Seahawks look sketchy. Think if you could get Godwin, he should jump. I don't necessarily disagree with that sentiment at all. Lawrence drops back. 2nd and 6. He keeps doing this thing when he's under pressure where he's just kind of like aggressively rolling out to the right. And it's hard to tell if he's really looking downfield, man. He's just kind of like in limbo on the right side of the field as soon as he's under pressure. And then he either like runs out of bounds or he runs for like 1 yard. Which is better than him throwing an interception 3 times like he did last week, right? And like Tom Brady just did in Madden. But I don't know. Maybe that's something they worked on with him so he would throw less interceptions, okay? I don't know. 3rd and 4 overall for the Jaguars, not the Bengals. Let's see. Timeout by Trevor Lawrence. Very anticlimactic. All right. Steven says Robinson looks good. But how about Chark for you, John? Yep. Right now I'm still projected to win in my 20-man league with Chark with a broken ankle. So if I do, I'll just feel like a total gangster. That's all, man. That is all. All right. James Robinson is starting to look like a weekly starter every week, says Rio Goated. Yeah. I surely hope so, man, because I need him to be. Why are they talking about Tom Brady going to New England, man? I mean, I get why, but come on, man. It's a young gunslinger's night, man. Let Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence do their thing. 3rd and 4 for Trevor Lawrence. Let's see what happens here. All right. What you going to do, Trevor? Talking to your own lineman. Looking for the ball. Snapping the ball. Drop it back. He's doing a scramble. He is fast when he scrambles. Throw the ball, Trevor. Don't throw a pick. Throws it away. I was going to say, didn't look like there was anyone in the vicinity, but there was. 4th and 4 for the Jags. They might go for it. They like to go for it. Let's see what happens. Steven Robinson looks very good, though. Finally, Jags are feeding him. He also looks so much more in shape this year. Yeah. He does look good, man. Oh, they got to punt it. Man, just go for it, Urban. Why not? Josh Olson, what is going on, brother? Hope you are doing fantastic. Happy to have you in the stream tonight, man. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam, by subscribing down below. But nonetheless, man, we just appreciate you coming out to the stream and throwing some fantasy Q&A our way. Let's get to the question. Start Deontay Johnson or Miles Sanders at flex. Deontay plays Jair. Yeah, tough matchup. And is coming off injury, but Miles Sanders just got 2 carries last game. Listen, man, if you're asking me, the Kansas City Chiefs are one of the worst teams in the entire National Football League right now against opposing running backs. I think it's a very good matchup for Miles Sanders, man. I like him this week, actually. So I think you made 2 great points, right, about Deontay Johnson, right? The first one being is that he's going against Jair Alexander, which is an awful matchup. And the second point being he is coming off of a big-time injury, right? So I agree with you, man. I like Miles Sanders this week. I think he's a very good start overall. If you're asking me personally, who would I start on my fantasy roster, it would be Miles Sanders. For me personally, when a player's coming back from injury, unless it's Davonte Adams or Derrick Henry, right, or Patty Mahomes, right, I usually like to give them a week or 2 weeks to kind of give me that sample size back of how they're going to look. So if you're asking me, man, I think Miles Sanders is a better start. I know last week's got you spooked. It's got a lot of people spooked, okay? I totally understand that, man. That makes sense, right? But at the end of the day, man, I think he's going to bounce back and have a much better week. The game script didn't really. The Eagles were playing from behind that entire game, and they had to throw the football, right? The game script didn't really benefit Miles Sanders. Now, that doesn't mean that he should have only got 2 carries in the game, right? But I think he has a much better week overall here in week 4. So, playing up against a very bad Chiefs defense right now. So, I think it's a good matchup overall, man. So, if you're asking me, that is who I would personally roll with. So thank you for the question, Josh. And like I said, hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam tonight. But nonetheless, man, appreciate you coming out and showing some support tonight in the live chat. Let us know if you have any other fantasy questions as well. Kellen Brown, I can't decide if I'm having a good night. My opponent has Boyd with 16, Robinson with 20, and Marvin Jones with 5. I didn't start anyone. You're definitely getting some points put up against you. The benefit is that Marvin Jones is not having a good game. But, Boyd and Robinson are having good games. So, listen, man, they just have a lot of capital in this game. If you had 3 players starting right now, I'm sure you'd be pretty even with that score as well. So, don't lose faith, man. I know it's not easy going into the week, having a tough Thursday night and everything, but like I said, if you had 3 players starting right now, skill position players, as Boyd picks up a first down, I think that you'd probably be at least on pretty even par as well. So I wouldn't freak out too much. Steven, with the amount of heat the Eagles got for not feeding RBs, think they start giving running backs more carries this week. I'd lean Sanders, especially because Deandre is still hurt. Hurts also came out and said they need to give the ball to Sanders more. Yeah. And listen, man, it's a great matchup for Miles Sanders. So I would personally roll with Miles Sanders. I like that start a lot more, and I agree with Steven's sentiment there as well. Iden, what is going on? Let's see. What if I trade Amari and Damian Harris for Keenan Allen? Steven says, Kellen, Marvin Jones disappointing. Oh, I'm sorry. Honestly, man, I would hold off on that trade. I think it's going to give you better depth at the running back position, and I don't think it's a major upgrade at the receiver position. Maybe a little bit more consistent, as in terms of Amari can be kind of a boomer bust type player. But I still think I would rather have both Damian Harris and Amari Cooper than just Keenan Allen. Remind me of the rest of your roster, and I'll break that down a little bit more for you, man. All right, man. Bengals get stopped on 2nd down. 3rd down for the Bengals. Tie football game. All right, LeBron's brain. I wouldn't say it's the Chiefs. I'd say they have the worst quarterback for producing running backs. The guy never doesn't have his eyes downfield. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. Steven says, well, let's see. 3rd down for the Bengals. Let's see what happens here. Play action. Burrow's in the... Oh, Burrow. Burrow's getting sacked. Oh, no. Steven, Marvin Jones disappointing his death. Good for you. Gotta hope Boyd holds off getting more points. Yeah, and I mean, sack there. Flag down. See what happens here, man. They're aggressively looking for a flag. I don't know what the flag was. I'm not listening to sound, but holding, defensive holding, pass interference. Yeah, a little bit of contact there for sure. First down for the Bengals. Easy first down. Whoa, another flag. Lots of flags tonight, guys. Lots of flags. That was on the offense, though. Man, I hate flags, man. Just put some. Let us watch some football, guys. Yeah, definitely on the offense there. All right, 1st and 15 for the Bengals. Joe Burrows had a good night, man. 21 to 28, 292 passing yards and 2 TDs. No interceptions. Dumps it off here. Good play on 1st down there. Yeah, Burrow's looking all right tonight. I want this game to go to overtime. And, man, you think about it, right? I talked about this a little bit. If the Jaguars had just kicked that field goal instead of going for it on 4th down, like I said, I mean, that at least gives you a positive drive for a young quarterback. And instead you come out with 0 points. I mean, this game would look very different if the Jaguars had 3 points, 3 more points on the board, right? That could be the deciding factor, man. We'll see what happens. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't know why I'm wearing a jacket. I'm taking off my jacket. All right, we're back, Catch fan. You guys don't want to see me try and take off a jacket. Trust me. Is Joe Burrow? I mean, not Joe Burrow. Is Joe Mixon cramping? Why is Joe Mixon on the sideline? I'm not watching with sound. I should probably turn on subtitles. Burrow's trying to get another playoff before the 2-minute warning here. And they do not succeed. Huh. Is Joe Burrow? I mean, gosh, I keep saying Joe Burrow. I was also looking at him on my screen, to be fair. Any updates on Mixon, guys? I need to see another Trevor Lawrence touchdown tonight. Uzma. Showing the replay. Tight end all over the place. Let's see, Steven. Watching Burrow at the line is so funny. This guy has serious command of his team. Yeah. I do think he has command of this team, man. For good reason, too. He's a good leader, man. LeBron's brain, it's hamstring. Yeah, okay, cool. That's probably not good, right? For Joe Mixon owners. Probably bad. We'll have to get an update on that, man. Burrow's got over 300 passing yards and 2 scores. Steven, Bengals going to be 3-1. I don't know, man. There's some time left in this game. But yeah, just think about it, man. Why did the Jaguars go for it, man? I mean, this Bengals team isn't like anyone to sneeze at necessarily. They should have just kicked that field goal, man. And that was a bad design play, if you're asking me. So, I don't know. Whatever. We don't need to dwindle on that too much. But, yeah, the Bengals are going to try and run this clock down, of course. They don't have Mixon out there. Who's 34? Flag down. Jeez, how many flags are we going to get? Oh, who is 34? Real good. I think they're going to get a 4-and-out and kick a field goal and miss it. Fair enough, man. I mean, yeah, could certainly happen. Don't get me wrong. Certainly could. Oh my gosh. Who is 34? Is it? I can't remember his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Samaje Perine? Is that his name? He's a decent back. Burrow. Finds his man, Boyd. Yeah, another flag, man. Messes up this whole drive. Let's see. LeBron's brain, he might try to battle it out. Yeah, if they let him back in. Mixon is a guy who's had a lot of injuries in his time, so we'll see what happens, man. Steven, I took Jags live plus 3.5 points just for kicks, so real goated, hope you're right. Real goated says LOL. Tyler Boyd having a good night, man. I want to see overtime. Uzma, don't leave him untouched, man. Don't leave my man Uzma open. He will make you pay. Wow, they just showed the most drunk Bengals fan dancing I've ever seen. Steven says Uzma is cooking. Yeah, good play. Rear gutted says no way. I told you guys. Don't sleep on Uzma. He's having a good game, man. He might be worth he might be who I add when I drop DJ Chark with his broken ankle, guys. As I've only got Jared Cook at tight end in my 20-man league, so it's still a small sample size, but I'm liking the Uzma vibe, guys. Truly am. Joe Burrow at 348 passing yards on the night. Bengals taking a timeout. They took a lot of time off this clock, man. A lot of time off the clock. Uzma's got 5 catches for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's got a butterfly tattoo. Man, I'm adding Uzma in my 20-man league. He is he's all about the catch fan vibe, man. LeBron's brain, he missed this. Mixon's back in the game. See what happens, boys and girls. Should be interesting here. Oh, LeBron's brain says he misses this. Steven's saying, I hope so. Miss. I hope so too. I just want to see overtime. More football for us, guys. We'll see what happens. He's a rookie, guys. Okay, fair enough. LeBron's brain. Jaguars got some good special teams players. And here we go. He made it. Wow. Time expires, right? Yep, that's a game winner. Bronze brain, this is extra point range. Yeah, it sure was. Steven, luckily I took 3.5 points. Yikes. Real gooded. Wow, man, he made it. It was a good game, though. It was a good game. But listen, remember, Jaguars, if they don't go for it before the half and they just kick the field goal, then we're in overtime and the Jags have a chance to win the game. It's just, it's poorly coached, man. I'm sorry. You've got a rookie quarterback. Let him have a positive drive. I just don't get it, man. Let him have a positive drive. Kick the 3 points. And then you're still in this game, man. I just, a lot of the times I don't understand not taking the 3, man. Steven says, way more exciting game than I thought it would be. Yeah, James Robinson played good, and Trevor Lawrence had a good night, so that's all I care about, man. All right, let's see some final stat lines here. Trevor Lawrence got me 19 points. James Robinson got me 20 points. DJ Chark got me 0 points, in case you guys were wondering. Yep. And now my matchup is 50-50. This guy's got like Leonard Fournette against New England, which is not great start. He's got A.J. Dillon. Not a good start. Evan Ingram. Been a little banged up. I think I got a chance in this matchup. Miami's defense. Yeah. LeBron's brain. Well, I mean, the Bengals also missed a layup field goal. That's true. That's true. You're right. I forgot about that. Good point. Fair enough. But still, I think the Jacks should have kicked a field goal when they had the opportunity. But you're very, very correct about that. All right, let's see. So that helped me in my 20-man league. What didn't help me is the fact that I put a DJ Chark in my lineup. Good game by James Robinson, man. Really helped me in my 12-man league too. And my opponent had Tyler Boyd on his bench. So yeah, I got a tough matchup this week in my 12-man league. So really good, good start to the week with James Robinson playing well. Evan Harrison, what is going on, brother? What's up, man? What's up with you, man? Hope you're doing fantastic. Happy to have you in the stream. As always, man, hope you're doing great. Let me know if you had any players playing tonight and how you're doing overall, man. LeBron's brain, Bengals defense ends with 1 point because of a BS sack. Yeah, that does stink. I know you had them against each night, so yeah, that sucks. 0 points is a lot better than 1 point, that's for sure, man. All right, let's see here. Senior Cinnabon. Hey, Catch, I have 2 questions. Do I start Logan Thomas or George Kittle? Let's look into it for you, man. Let's start there. Start with the first question. Let's peep where George Kittle's at. He's got the Seahawks, their 19th ranked team against opposing tight ends, coming off of a very good game against Green Bay, right? Thomas got a pretty good matchup this week too, man. I think Thomas is a better matchup. I mean, he's facing Atlanta, right? He's tight end 6 on the season. It's a tough call, man. Tough call to bench Kittle. But it's a better matchup for Logan Thomas, man. And I like to look at matchups. It's a lot of what I do, man. So if you're asking me, I would roll with Logan Thomas for now. But it's hard to bench Kittle, man. I don't think you're going to feel bad if you start Kittle either. Okay, another question. Do I start Henry Ruggs or DeAndre Hopkins? I'm wondering because Hopkins and Kittle are injured. Ooh. Man, I do like Henry Ruggs this week. At the moment, he's in my starting lineup in my 12-man league, believe it or not. But the Chargers are good against opposing receivers. Now, I could see that game turning into a bit of a shootout. But nonetheless, man. Yeah, but D-Hop's going to have Ramsey on him, man, facing the Rams this week. I think Ruggs is a safer start. Really pains me to say, but I don't want to start much of anyone against Jalen Ramsey, right? So, yeah. I just noticed, has my Madden's game not been playing for you guys? Here, let me check one thing. Just looked up and Madden was frozen on the stream. Let me see if I can't get that fixed for you guys. Was that frozen for like 20 minutes? Because I've been cooking the Bucks for a while. Sorry if the Madden was frozen, guys. But I know no one cares about Madden. But yeah, man, it's a better matchup, technically speaking, for DeAndre Hopkins, looking at the defenses as a whole. His Chargers have been very good against posting receivers. But Henry Ruggs has the advantage that he is not the first option on that team, right? I mean, I would argue that Edwards and Renfro and Waller are all in front of him, and he takes advantage of defenses, right? And I think it's going to turn into a little bit of a shootout, Chargers and Raiders, excuse me. But D-Hop's going to have Ramsey, so it's a tough matchup, man. I would personally... It's just so hard to tell someone to bench D-Hop, right? So that's a very tough question, man. But dealing with the injuries, man, I don't think it's a bad call to roll with Logan Thomas and Henry Ruggs, man. But, gosh, is that tough. And the injuries don't help either, right? I mean, they certainly don't. So it's really tough, man. I don't know if I have the right answer for you, because I'm going to go back and forth on this one all night. Evan Harrison, is Chase coming back down to reality? Still had 9 targets tonight, which is the most targets he's had all season. 6 receptions, 77 receiving yards. He just didn't get in the end zone this week. So I would say no. I think he's perfectly fine if you do own Jamar Chase. Didn't have the game that we'd like to see out of him. He's got a very tough matchup against the Green Bay Packers and Jair Alexander next week. I don't know if T. Higgins is on pace to come back next week, but that would certainly help Jamar Chase. He's actually got a couple of tough matchups. Weird, but Detroit is the 11th ranked team against opposing receivers, and Baltimore is the 13th, and the New York Jets are the 3rd somehow right now, and then Cleveland's number 7, but that could all change after this week, right? But Green Bay is a tough matchup. If Higgins comes back, it should help him maybe get some of the pressure taken off with Jair Alexander, maybe helping with T. Higgins as well. But to answer your question, I don't think so. I mean, obviously it's not as good of a game as he's been having, but nonetheless, still a good game in my humble opinion out of Jamar Chase. But good question nonetheless, man. Let's see here. Senior Cinnabon, I just hit the word cap. Yeah, you also gave me, gosh, that's a tough question. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you guys think of first Senior Cinnabon's question. Would you start Logan Thomas or George Kittle this week, or Ruggs over Hopkins, right? I mean, it's tough, man. It truly is. Naso484, Brandon Cooks or Godwin? New England's been pretty good against posing receivers, right? But I don't know if it's going to matter, man. I mean, don't you guys just have that feeling that Brady's going to go out there Sunday night and just absolutely fry? And Brandon Cooks, he's got Buffalo, who's been better against posing receivers. I would take the gamble on Godwin personally. I like Brandon Cooks and where he's at, man. He does have a tough matchup against the Bills, of course. We know that Cooks is going to garner like at least 8 targets, right? At the very least, right? But I would still take the gamble, and I would roll with Chris Godwin personally. But thank you for the question, man. Let me know if you got any other fantasy questions. For any new faces out there, man, hope you guys consider becoming part of the Catch fam and subscribing down below. But nonetheless, man, we do appreciate you guys just coming out and showing support. For all of you members of the Catch fam, go ahead and smash that like button, man, if you haven't already. It does help other viewers, new viewers, see the stream as well, man. Hope you guys, as a whole, are enjoying the stream on the night, though. Let's see here. LeBron's brain, well, I sure am going to trade bait someone with Boyd next week. Yeah, after that performance, probably a good time to trade bait them. And I do like Tyler Boyd as a receiver, man. But when T. Higgins comes back, I still think he's the better receiver and will garner some of those targets, right? So, yeah, man, I don't think that's a bad idea. All right, I'm going to head out. Was def a W for me tonight. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Happy to see it as always, LeBron's brain. Happy to see you as always. Happy to see that you had a good fantasy night as well. And we will see you next time, brother. Always appreciate your support, my guy. And hope you have a good night and a good day tomorrow as well. Charlie Zigmund, what is going on, brother? Did Mixon injury look bad? I didn't get to see. I just traded for him too. Definitely a hamstring injury. He came back in at the very end of the game, didn't he, for one play? Or am I mistaken? I think they were holding him out because they were in a good position to win the game. We're going to have to wait on that one, though, for sure, right? We're going to have to probably wait until tomorrow. But they just kind of needed to run the clock out, and they probably realized that they could just let their veteran star player sit, and deal with the injury and, move down the field a little bit with Pirine. So we didn't really get a full update there, I don't believe. But we should have one, I would say, within 24 hours, right? So, yeah, unfortunately, it didn't look awful. It didn't look as bad as Christian McCaffrey, where he went straight to the tent by any means. He just kind of went to the sideline and was stretching out. So if anyone else has any further updates on Joe Mixon, please let us know. But, yeah, I think we'll probably have to wait until tomorrow. So let's see here. Chase Brown, Bengals definitely sold for me, but Boyd did good. Should start Beasley over Deandre. I'm worried Deandre gets GR and off injury. Yeah, it's a tough week to start Deontay Johnson, man. Coming off the injury, right? We know that Jair Alexander is going to be facing him, man. So if you're asking me, Cole Beasley is a very safe option. Listen, man. Cole Beasley is someone you could probably start every week and probably get at least 10 points, right? So I like Cole Beasley, man. And I think with a player coming off injury like Deontay Johnson, especially in a bad matchup against a great corner like Jair Alexander, right? I think it's good just to get at least a week's worth of a sample size there. Evan Harrison, any update on the Chark injury? As Chase Brown says, fractured ankle. Yeah. I literally, I'm not exaggerating. I put DJ Chark in my starting lineup 2 minutes before kickoff. And I felt not so smart about that move very, very quickly. But it is what it is, man. Just fantasy, right? My players are all cursed. So we're down DJ Chark. I don't know the timeline on that, but I would assume it's not good. Let's see if there's any updates here. LeBron's brain. Okay, wait, I'm back. What's up, brother? Happy to have you back in the stream, my guy. Let's see. So yeah, fractured ankle. I'm still not getting any timeline. Yeah, I don't have a timeline here, man. I would assume that's not good, though. Evan Harrison out for season. Let's see if I can't do... All right, let's see what we can't find out. According to Google, takes at least 6 weeks to heal. So, we're in week 4, so that would put him around week 10. So he should miss some time for sure. Without, to say the least, right? All right, let's see here. MJ Woozy, what is going on, brother? Hope you are doing fantastic tonight. Happy to have you in the stream, man. If you are new here, hope you consider subscribing to the Catch and becoming part of the Catch fam. But nonetheless, we do appreciate you coming out to the stream, and let's get to the question. Chase came out with 13.7 points. Do you think Godwin will score more against the Pats defense? Yeah, we were just talking about Chris Godwin, actually. I like Chris Godwin this week, man. The Patriots have been good against opposing receivers, but they haven't played the best football teams overall on the season. So I I think Chris Godwin's going to have a good game, more so based on the fact that Tom Brady is their quarterback and he is going to be in Foxborough. And I just think this game script is very, very, good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from a fantasy standpoint. I mean, listen, like I said, the New England Patriots have been very good against opposing wide receivers this year, but they faced Miami, who, they're okay, in terms of receiver room, right? They're not the worst. Then the Jets, you just had Corey Davis, really. And then New Orleans, who they got some, skillful guys, right? But really, it's just Callaway there, right? I mean, then, take your gamble the next guy. So I think this is really the first, offensive powerhouse that New England will be playing against. So I like Chris Godwin this week. I do think he's a good start. And I think that Brady is going to do everything within his power to score as many touchdowns as he can this weekend. So I think it's going to be a good game. And I think from a PPR standpoint, even if Godwin doesn't get in the end zone, I do think that Godwin's going to have a good week overall. So thank you for the question, man. Let me know if you have any other questions for week 4 as well. Chase Brown, my opponent had James Robinson, so he is off to a good start, so I need safe options like Beasley. Yeah. I think Beasley's a good start this week, man. I truly, truly do. I am worried about Deontay Johnson this week, so I think that's a good start. Man, remember the Jaguars had all the momentum in that game? I'm just looking at replays. Joe Burrows on my television talking, so let's see here. Evan Harrison, maybe drop Chark for Renfro. In full PPR, I think Renfro's a good option right now, man. I truly do. Just keep in mind if you want Chark on your team long term, he's not going to be available. Well, you're just going to have to fight for him on the waiver wire, around week 10 again, which is okay, right? It's not the worst position to be in. But Renfro, yeah, in terms of full PPR, although he's got a bad matchup this week, in full PPR, he's had at least 10 points a game in most general scoring formats, right? He's had at least 6 targets a game. He's got a pretty, like in the middle of the season, right? I would say week 9 to week 14, he's got good matchups, right? And in terms of full PPR, I do like Renfro a lot. I would say in standard and half PPR, he might not be as valuable outside of a flex player. But in terms of replacing DJ Chark in the meantime, I think it's a good option for sure. Let's see here. LeBron's brain. Should I trade Taylor and CEH for Montgomery and Robinson? Listen, man, I was all about Montgomery and Robinson in the offseason. I own both of them in my 12-man league. I own Robinson in my 20-man league. I don't hate that trade, but it does look like the Chiefs are starting to use CEH a little bit better, starting to lean on the running game and throwing to running backs a little bit more. I still believe in Jonathan Taylor on the season, although he's been highly inconsistent, and Naheem Hines is eating into his overall value. Here's my answer. I've got Montgomery and Robinson on my roster. So let us know in the chat, guys. Let's get some catch fam advice here. Would you rather have Jonathan Taylor and Clyde Edwards-Helaire or David Montgomery and James Robinson? I'm interested to get some feedback on that one. Let me know what you guys think. Because I've got Montgomery and Robinson. So let me know what you guys think about that one. I'm interested to hear. All right, we just hit 170 subs tonight, man. Shout out to all of the Catch fam, man. I mean, the community's just growing day by day, man. I don't want to be that guy, man, but if you guys do appreciate the channel, man, tell your friends, tell your family about the channel, man. Help the community grow. We're just chasing more and more subscribers every day. But we will definitely remember the early subscribers and the more tight-knit community, man. And I just love watching it grow. So, share the channel to all your fantasy buddies. I mean, I know we might be getting you that exclusive Catch Fam advice, right? But help grow the channel, man, because we truly, truly do appreciate all you guys out there. So 170 subs as of tonight, man. Really, really just appreciate you guys, man. Truly, truly do. Evan Harrison says, I wouldn't do it. Chase Brown, I would rather have Taylor and CEH. Jason Kenobi, I don't like either Taylor or Montgomery, LOL, but I'd take CEH over Robinson. Yeah. Listen, I mean, I like all four of those running backs, right? I mean, they're all running back ones on different levels of football teams. So it's a really hard call, man. I was very, very high on David Montgomery going into the season. And I just liked where you could draft James Robinson and based on his numbers from the year prior, even before the injury to Travis Etienne. So it's a really tough call, man. LeBron's brain, I would just look at who you have the most conviction in overall, man. Because it's a tough call. And I think you have pretty similar value floating around there as well. So let us know if you want us to go any further into detail on that. But that's a tough call, man. It really is. Truly, truly is. And yeah, like I said, I mean, the main reason I have both of them on my roster is because I felt very good about where you could draft them as a whole. So, you guys knew I was trying to roll with David Montgomery from day one. That was a guy who, I mean, I still like him on the season. Don't get me wrong. But I do like Jonathan Taylor. This is one that I will just go back and forth on all night long. I mean, I'm sorry, LeBron's brain. I'm not giving you a clear answer at all, but this is a tough one to answer. So do we consider adding Uzma? What's his first name? CJ Uzma. Am I saying it right? He went off tonight, guys. I mean, is he worth considering? 26 fantasy points in full PPR. Week 1, 5 points. Week 2, 2 points. Week 3, 0 points. I don't like that inconsistency one bit. But, gosh. He's got Green Bay next week, who's the worst team in the league against opposing tight ends. Then Detroit, and then Baltimore, who's the... and did I say Green Bay is the third worst team in the league? If I didn't... I don't know if I said third or the worst, but they are the third worst team. Detroit's the 11th worst team, and then Baltimore is the first worst team. So... he's got some good matchups coming up too, man. The Uzma. I might get him in my 20-man league. Why not? Have any of you guys considered adding Nick Westbrook from the Tennessee Titans, who played really well in A.J. Brown's absence in deeper leagues? I haven't, but he's available in my 20-man league. Someone I talked about on the waiver wire episode. Evan Harrison, how about neither? Fair enough. All right, let's see here. Zac Pascal is available in my 20-man league. It's got a 0-star rating, but 11 projected points, which is interesting. I will probably try and pick up Zac Pascal or Terrace Marshall Jr. when I drop DJ Chark or our guy Uzma. I mean, honestly, I like some of those matchups for Uzma. So I forgot I got Pat F in this league. So I've got Freiermuth on the Steelers, and I've got Jared Cook. So I don't know if I'm actually going to try and pick up Uzma. But Terrace Marshall Jr. and Zac Pascal, if they last through tomorrow's waivers, are probably my top waiver wire options at the moment in my 20-man league. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to be dropping DJ Chark. Trevor Lawrence, 17 for 24 tonight, 204 passing yards, 36 rushing yards, touchdown. Fourth straight loss. He has only ever lost, through his collegiate and his high school career. He's only lost 4 games. So now he's lost another 4 games in the National Football League. There's my stat for you. LeBron's brain. Okay, what about CEH, Taylor, and Julio for Robinson, Montgomery, and Evans? Oof. Coming back at us, man. Making it even tougher. Huh. Let's pull up the stats, homie. Let's pull up the stats. I mean, Julio's in a good position right now, but he's been pretty inconsistent on the season. I think Evans is going to be better on the season as a whole, if you're asking me. But he can be inconsistent at times as well. I mean, those guys are kind of similar, but I think that Evans is the better fantasy receiver as a whole. Let us know in the chat, guys. What do you think about LeBron's brains? Revised revised trade there. Does it make any difference if you're swapping Julio for Evans? I mean, I think it's an upgrade, but it is hard to say. Hard to say there. I don't personally think it's the worst trade, but it looks like a lot of you guys don't like it, which is fine. I appreciate that feedback. I think personally Evans is an upgrade over Julio. Although I think Julio this week having the Jets and A.J. Brown is out. I think Julio has the better week this week. But in terms long term on the season, I still like Mike Evans more. Very, very tough call tonight, LeBron's brain. Really making us pick. Really making us think. Evan Harrison, it's Lawrence's problem for being too good. Yeah. Man, I think some of the stats that Trevor Lawrence has as a rookie quarterback kind of align with Peyton Manning's rookie season. So I like that. We like Peyton Manning. Got him this side of my head behind me, right? So we'll see what happens, man. It's a long season. It's a long career for some of these young quarterbacks. So, but the Jags were in control of this game, man. They truly were. I mean, they had all the momentum. They lost it all. So, Jason Kenobi certainly is an upgrade. Yeah, I think Evans is an upgrade over Julio. So, it's a tough call, LeBron. Giving us the tough calls tonight, man. Evan Harrison minus the rushing yards. Yeah, good point. I don't know if Peyton Manning ever had over 30 rushing yards in a game. And definitely not in his rookie season. I think Troy Aikman was the other quarterback whose stats were pretty similar to Trevor Lawrence's rookie season, including the interceptions. I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I mean he's got a lot of time to bounce back and win some football games within his career. So I mean I'm rolling with him in my 20-man league, and I got Tua on my bench. On my bench because Jerry Jeudy's my IR player, and now I got Chark down. I mean, I just can't catch a break, and I can't sack Mahomes and Madden. I mean, it's just I'm losing it all, man. So it's a tough call, LeBron's brain. I mean, I feel like I'm abandoning your question, man. I'm not trying to, but I think that the second trade is better, if you're asking me. I mean, even if you could get a third running back, I mean, I know that's a lot of capital, but I know that you're pretty stacked at the receiver position. So, I mean, if that's an option, that might be a smart move too. All right, guys, let's see here. In my 20-man league, so I've got Tim Patrick in my lineup versus Baltimore. I think it's a good matchup. I can't believe I threw DJ Chark in my starting lineup. Oh, gosh. Aaron Jones versus Pittsburgh. Not a great matchup, but I'll still roll with Aaron Jones all day long, man. I don't even care. Jared Cook is in my lineup against Las Vegas. He's only seen 8 targets over the last 2 games, which is not great, right? Raiders defense is allowing less than 50 receiving yards a game to tight ends right now. Then I've got Pat Freiermuth on my bench versus Green Bay. He might be a sneaky start this week, guys. Got Corey Davison versus Tennessee. If I hadn't started DJ Chark, I'd be in such a good position right now, guys. Brandon McManus versus Baltimore. Carolina versus Dallas. Not a great overall defense, but in a 20-man league, I kind of got to roll with him, man. And I still like them on the season. So KJ Osborne, Rondell Moore on my bench, as well as Pat Freiermuth. Why did I put DJ Chark in? Oh my gosh. The end. I traded. What is going on? First of all, happy to see you in the chat, man. Hope you are doing fantastic. Happy to have you here at the catch, as always, my guy. I traded Adam Thielen and Will Fuller for Calvin Ridley and Robert Woods. Did I win? As Jason Kenobi says, big dub. Yeah, I think that's a good trade, man. I don't think that's a bad trade by any means. I think you got, I think both Calvin Ridley and Robert Woods on a consistent basis will play better than Will Fuller, if you're asking me. So I think that's an upgrade. I like where Adam Thielen's at a lot, man. But I think overall it does impact your roster and help your roster more than having, our guy, Will Fuller, just kind of hanging around waiting for him to pop off at any minute, right? So, yeah, I think it's a good trade, man. Listen, I know Robert Woods has been semi-disappointing, but he is going to be very consistent week in and week out, especially in the flex position. So, yeah, I think that's a good trade, man. All right, let's see if we can't score. There we go. Jason Kenobi, the LeBron's trade just doesn't make that much sense to me, LOL. Swapping high RBs, Taylor Montgomery, low RBs, CH Robinson, and then low wide receivers, Evans and Jones. What's really the point? Yeah, I do think that it's a relatively equal trade overall. I think you make a good argument there for sure. I would just say if you have more conviction in those players and you feel more confident in them, then I guess it's worth the trade. But yeah, I certainly see your argument, Jason Kenobi. I truly do. It's definitely a hard trade to go back and forth on because it's there are a lot of similarities between those players. So I think you make a fair argument for sure. And I mean, really, LeBron's brain, you're pretty stacked at the receiver position. So I would be looking to move, maybe 2 receivers for a running back if you're concerned about your running backs overall. And maybe even, 3 receivers for a running back and a tight end of high value. That might help you out a little bit more overall. As you know, I don't think you need to necessarily move on from any of the running backs on your roster. But let us know what you're thinking. It's a tough call, man. Tough call for me, at least, on what we should be advising here. So let me know if you guys have any other fantasy Q&A, man. After this game of Madden, we'll be winding down the stream for the night as we're already getting into the midnight territory. But definitely happy to hang out for the rest of the game. LeBron's brain. I have Hawkinson, though. I mean, I love TJ Hawkinson, man. I'd be rolling with him every week, man. But I'm not sure how much that affects your current trade situation. Who are the RBs on the same trade value as Fournette and Sermon that I can trade for? And where do you think Marlon Mack is going from the end? It's a good question, man. I would say Kenyon Drake would be a good option, who I still think is going to see pretty good volume overall. I like Kenyon Drake, man. Maybe Kareem Hunt. I've been seeing some teams out there trading away Kareem Hunt. I think he's got a little bit more value than those guys, but I like Kareem Hunt a lot, actually. Another guy is potentially Javonte Williams, right? Or Melvin Gordon, one of the Broncos running backs, who have a very easy strength of schedule, so they're an option too. And in terms of Marlon Mack, to be completely truthful with you, man, I have no idea whatsoever where he's going. Just being completely honest. In terms of teams that may need a running back, the Ravens, I mean, why not at this point? They just sign anyone. Maybe the Panthers, maybe the Bengals. You just saw a little injury to Joe Mixon. Maybe the Chiefs, right? There's a lot of places he could wind up. Maybe the Falcons, as they've had to turn to Patterson, as the Mike Davis experiment hasn't really worked out too much. So it's hard to say, man. He could go a lot of different places. I certainly think he's a talented running back as well. I like Marlon Mack a lot. So, yeah, I don't think he's a bad... I think he will potentially be pretty fantasy relevant. So I like him quite a bit, actually. All right, LeBron's brain. Like you were saying, upgrade tight end, but I have Hawkinson. If I said upgrade tight end, I may have misspoke. Yeah, I think if you can trade away, two of those receivers, or two receivers and a running back, or something like that, and get a running back and an upgrade at the wide receiver position, or, I mean, maybe even a tight end to add depth. I mean, why not? I would look to ship some of your receivers before you start shipping your running backs, would be my personal advice. At least maybe try and trade two of those receivers for a running back. I think that would be a better move than... I don't think you need to necessarily swap your running backs at this point in time. Jason Kenobi, Tyson Williams is an interesting one too. Yeah, that's a good point, man. I don't disagree with that at all. The end, LO, one guy owns the Raiders Broncos backfield in my league. Nice. Joffrey Plays, what is going on, man? Happy to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing fantastic tonight. Happy to have you here at the catch, man. Let's see here. Should I start Tim Patrick or Robbie Anderson? I already have Sutton. I don't know if that matters. Yeah, I would say it does matter, just in case you think the Broncos are going to have a bad week. I like Tim Patrick this week, man. Could be a little risky to start both of them, right? And Robbie Anderson's been a little bit worrisome overall. Let's check out Sutton at the moment. Yeah, I mean, dude, they're both playing... Baltimore's been bad, right? Sutton's been a little bit inconsistent, right? I like Tim Patrick, man. He's actually been more consistent week in and week out. Yeah, he's had at least 12 fantasy points in full PPR every week. I mean, I like Tim Patrick a lot. Let's look at Anderson. Man, start those Broncos receivers. Why not? I mean, Anderson might see an uptick in targets with CMC out, right? But that's a tough call, man. That truly is. I could see both those Broncos receivers having good weeks, man. I truly could. Let's see here. Let us know if you want me to elaborate more on that Joffrey Plays. Aaron Reborn, yo, James. What is going on, man? Happy to see you in the chat tonight, of course. Yo, James Robinson did me well, but frick Marvin Jones. Yeah, Jones did not have a good game tonight whatsoever. But I'm happy for you that James Robinson worked out, as he did for me as well. Jason Kenobi, what kind of trades do you think I should be looking at? I have Brady, Zeke, Aaron Jones, Marvin, Tyreek, Jacoby, Judy, Anderson, Goddard, Connor, 12-team PPR. I think you can consider shipping Anderson and or Marvin and or Jacoby. But I would definitely hold on to Judy. I mean, maybe trying to get an upgrade at the receiver position. But I wouldn't want you to trade any of your running backs or your tight end or Tyreek Hill or Jerry Jeudy. So I don't know what kind of value you could get out of that. Unless you have a team out there who really needs some receiver depth, right? Which might be unlikely, as receivers tends to be the position that people need the least amount of depth at, right? So it's a tough call. I wouldn't want you to trade any of your running backs for sure. So if you can find a team out there that needs some receivers, then I think that's a pretty good play overall. If you can trade away a couple of those guys and potentially get a running back that you feel pretty good with, I should say. All right, let's see here. LeBron's brain. Okay, what about Davonte Adams and Robinson? For Taylor, Julio, CEH, because I need to upgrade out of my 13 wide receivers. Let me think about this. I mean, yeah, man, you're getting Davonte Adams. Do you feel confident enough in the rest of your running backs? Because you're losing Jonathan Taylor and Clyde Edwards-Helaire is kind of the thing. But if you're getting Davonte Adams, it's hard to argue against it. But as long as you feel confident in the rest of your running backs with the addition of James Robinson, then sure, you're getting an extreme upgrade at the wide receiver position, right? Aaron Reborn, how do you think Hurts, Kareem Hunt, Mike Williams, Davonte Davis will play this week? I like Hurts a lot. Good matchup this week against the Chiefs. I think he's going to have a great game. He had a great game versus the Cowboys, and the Eagles played very poorly. So I like him a lot this week. Kareem Hunt is someone who I think you can be pretty confident in starting on a weekly basis, man. Might not always be the most consistent, but I do like Kareem Hunt a lot, to be completely honest with you. Especially in the flex position, right? I mean, 17 points week 1, full PPR, then 6 points week 2, then 27 in week 3. So yeah, I like where Kareem Hunt is at. I think you can start in the flex with pretty extreme confidence, as now I see you're asking Davonte Adams. Listen, man, Mike Williams going to ball this week. He's been doing it all season. Davonte Adams, arguably the best receiver in the league, is going to ball. So I like all four of those guys, man. If they're in your lineup, then I think you should feel pretty confident right now. Jeffrey plays. Okay, thanks, bro. Have a good night. Appreciate that, man. Hope you had a good time in the stream tonight, and hope you have a great night as well. Thanks for coming out. The end. Who do I sell for a running back? A-Rob, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Jamar Chase, Robbie Anderson, and Mike Williams again. That's a tough call, man. If you can get any value out of Robbie Anderson, I'd do it. I would not trade Mike Williams by any means whatsoever. I would not trade Jamar Chase by any means whatsoever. And Keenan Allen is far too consistent to lose, man. I would keep all three of those guys, even though, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are on the same team. I would trade Allen Robinson and Robbie Anderson. Hands down. If you can get a solid running back out of those two guys, I would do it. And then I would go to the waiver wire to add another receiver or a skill position guy if you need to. But yeah, I would not trade those other players on your team, man. They're playing far too good right now. Yeah, so if you're asking me, Allen Robinson and Robbie Anderson, try and get a solid running back out of it, man. I think it'll really help your roster overall. Man, Mike Williams has been such a beast this year. Can't believe I didn't draft Mike Williams. I can because it's me. At the same time, I really can't. It's just unbelievable. Talked about him all off-season and preseason. He's just going ballistic, man. All right, we got to try and win this game of Madden, guys. All right, let's see here. Jeffrey plays. My dad wants to know if he should play, or if he should start Amari Cooper, Jalen Waddle, because he said they haven't thrown to Amari in the past 2 weeks. That's a good question, man. Let's pull up the stats. Let's see. I mean, Cooper definitely hasn't recuperated from what he did in the first week, right? Let's see here. 17 targets week 1, 5 targets week 2, 4 targets week 4. Not the best matchup versus Carolina, but also still not the worst matchup. Their secondary is not the best part of that team. Let's look at Waddle, man. He should have a pretty good... Well, the Colts have been the 7th best team against opposing receivers. I like Waddle more, actually. I do. Yeah, I think your dad... I mean, I think Cooper gives you a higher ceiling, man. But Waddle's been far more consistent. I mean, 5 targets week 1, 8 targets week 2, 13 targets week 3, so he's growing in target share. He's got a tougher matchup, man. But personally, yeah, I like Waddle. I think that Cooper's always going to give you a higher floor, right? I mean, he's very boom or bust, man. So, yeah, I don't think that's a bad call if he's got more conviction than Waddle. All right, let's see here. Chase Brown, I really want to trade for Diggs because I have Josh Allen. I want the future stack. I have wide receivers like Julio, Deontay, Boyd I could throw in. Who should I try throwing in for Diggs? I think right now it's a good time to trade Boyd because T. Higgins will come back at some point in time. You could try trading Deontay Johnson while he's down, or you could throw in Julio while he's going to have better value on the week, right? I mean, he's facing the Jets and A.J. Brown is out. So I would try to keep Julio for one more week. And then he's probably going to have a very big game. And then you could trade him while he's up, man. So you could trade Boyd and Julio while they're up and get Diggs. And I think that's a pretty good trade, man. Aaron Reborn. Should I trade Cordell Patterson and Marvin Jones for Hopkins? And if not, how much more should I add? I think that's a good trade, man. I don't think you need to add anything more to that. I would initially start with that trade and see if you get a rebuttal or not. I think it's a good trade in terms of your favor. So see what you can do with that, man. Lucky Heron, what is going on? Hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to the Catch. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fan by subscribing down below. But nonetheless, we appreciate you coming out and showing support tonight. Should I start worrying about Mixon? It's a fair question. Hamstring injuries can be lingering, man. But luckily, they don't keep players out for too long. So, the answer is yes, of course. He's injured, man. Yeah, of course you got to worry to some degree, man. But nonetheless, it didn't look nearly as bad as when Christian McCaffrey got injured in Thursday Night Football. Weird, man. 2 starting running backs 2 weeks in a row with the hamstring injuries, right? Of course you should worry, but just wait. We're going to have to wait about 24 hours, man, before we really know what the... Sorry, I'm trying to piece together my words. Sorry, what the severity of the injury is going to be. So I would not worry too much yet, right? Could be a light injury in comparison to what happened to Christian McCaffrey. So we'll just have to wait a day or so and see what type of news we get, from the Bengals overall. But, Joe Mixon does deal with injuries, unfortunately, on a pretty consistent basis. So thank you for the question. Let me know if you got anything else for the night. The end. I'll wait for A-Rob to go off. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine plan as well. And Robbie. Yeah, it's a fine plan. Chase Brown, you think I'll be fine throwing in 2 of those for just Diggs? Yeah, I do. I don't think it's a bad plan. And I think you should always start small when you do trades, and then if you have to go larger, then go larger. But I think initially that's fine. But I think Boyd just had a very good game, right? And I think Julio's going to have a good game as well against the Jets with A.J. Brown out. So I think it's going to be a good time to try and ship them if you have more faith in Stephon Diggs throughout the season, right? So, yeah, I think it's going to work in your favor if you believe in Diggs overall, right? So, yeah, I think you'll be fine to start out. Always start small and then go bigger if you need to. All right, let's see if we can't tie this game of Madden, man. Gonna get Davonte Adams involved here. Okay, Aaron Reborn, Marvin Jones is in my flex and Patterson on my bench. So I want to see if I make that trade. I'll put Hopkins at my flex. Yep. I think that's a good call, man. I think it's a good call. See what you can do, brother. All right. Jeffrey plays. I have McCaffrey, Mixon, and A.J. Brown, so I'm going to be struggling. Yeah, I feel you there, man. Trust me. I've had so many injuries this fantasy season. This has been my worst season probably ever in terms of injuries, man. It's been just completely awful. So I feel your pain there, my guy, and I truly do feel for you, my man. Chase Brown, or excuse me, Lucky Heron. Odell Beckham or Michael Pittman at flex. How did Odell finish? I don't know that I have his final stat line on the top of my head. Good game last week. 13 points in full PPR. Tough matchup versus Minnesota, for sure. But definitely a good comeback for Odell, man. Happy to see that. And then Pittman, very disappointing last week against the Tennessee Titans. Now he's got Miami, right? Honestly, I think they're both pretty equal. Man, I hate to give you a vanilla answer, but I've got just about the same amount of conviction in both those guys, being that Odell has got the wow, what was that interception? We just lost this game. Odell has got the easier matchup, and then Pittman's got. Oh no, I'm sorry. Pittman's got the easier matchups. What I meant to say, but he's got a battered up quarterback, and then in terms of looking at both of them, right? Odell's got the easier matchup. Or excuse me, the harder matchup. I'm so sorry. Okay, Odell has the more difficult matchup. And then Pittman's got an easier matchup, but a battered up quarterback and an unstable offense, while the Browns look to be a little bit more stable. So they have pros and cons both ways, and I think that they're both good flex plays for the week, man. Chase Brown. All right, I just messaged him and waiting for him to message back. I'll keep you updated on your next stream. Appreciate that, my guy, man. Hope it works out for you, and looking forward to hearing how it looks for you, man. Aaron Reborn. My lineup right now is Hurts, Kareem Hunt, James Robinson, Davonte Adams, Mike Williams, Kelsey, Marvin Jones, Bills defense, and Chris Boswell. Man, I know that Jones let you down tonight, right? But I do think that it's a good matchup, or a good lineup overall. Excuse me. So yeah, I think it could be much worse, man. Aaron Reborn. So I definitely want to better my flex spot, and I hope Hopkins can do that. Yeah, I mean, I certainly think he will, man. If you can trade for him, then I think you should, and I think it's definitely an upgrade at the flex position, nonetheless. Jason Kenobi, Kareem Hunt or CEH? I would roll with CEH. Eagles look worse. No, man, that's a hard one. It's a hard one. Kareem Hunt's got the tougher matchup against Minnesota. Minnesota's sneaky good right now. But the way that Hunt is playing, he's playing much better, right? That's tough. I would roll with Kareem Hunt. I'm sorry. I take my answer back. Kareem Hunt is who I would personally start. But yeah, Philly's actually looked pretty good against the run as well. It's a tough call. Personally, I would start Kareem Hunt if it was my roster. But tough call overall. A-Rod99, what's up, my guy? Hope you're doing fantastic. Happy to have you here tonight as we are getting ready to wind down the stream. What's up, my guy? Should I roll out with Brandon Ayuk, Corey Davis, or Henderson as a flex? Yikes. Corey Davis has got a good matchup this week. I like him a lot this week versus Tennessee, man. It's a tough call. Ayuk might be able to come back as well. Seattle's pretty good against opposing receivers right now. And you got Henderson, D-Tendies. You know we love D-Tendies here, man. Even though I traded him for Trevor Lawrence in my 20-man league. He's still questionable. He's got Arizona. If you're asking me, personally, I would start Corey Davis. I truly would. And I am starting him in both my leagues this week. Lucky Heron, should I bench Dak for Jalen Hurts? I think Jalen Hurts has a great matchup versus the Chiefs. Dak's got the tougher matchup versus Carolina. So if we're looking, although Carolina's been pretty bad in the secondary and against opposing running backs, or excuse me, it's opposing quarterbacks. But personally, I would start Jalen Hurts. Yes, I think Dak's still going to have a very good week. I think Jalen Hurts is a lock for a good week. I'll put it that way. Jason Kenobi, Kareem Hunt, or CH for the rest of the season. I would still roll Kareem Hunt, personally. Joffrey plays, by the way, I have Darnell Mooney and Will Fuller. Would you play either one of them over Will or over Tim Patrick? No, I would not. I like Tim Patrick's matchup a lot this week. I like Mooney, but I don't like the Bears whatsoever, the way they're playing. I don't know who's going to be their quarterback. They looked awful last week. And Will Fuller, I just want to see a larger sample size out of. So if you're asking me, I would roll with Tim Patrick. All right, A-Rod99, thanks, bro. Yeah, you got it, brother. Anytime, man. That's what the channel is here for. So with that, man, I am going to wind down the Thursday night football stream. Had a blast tonight. Shout out to all of the members of the Catch fam who came out and joined the stream tonight. Truly do appreciate all of you guys. Shout out to all the new faces, all the new members of the Catch fam, man. But I do have to get up for work tomorrow, so we are going to wind down the Thursday night football stream. We will be back at it again tomorrow night, and we will be doing the Saturday night late stream on Saturday and the pre-game kickoff stream as well on Sunday. So nonetheless, man, I do thank all you guys for coming out tonight, and make sure to stay tuned for any of mine and Steven's videos that we do post for the rest of the week and the weekend, and stay tuned for the live stream as well. Truly do appreciate all of you guys. Let's see here. Lucky Heron, what do you think about Trayvon Diggs? I like him a lot. Yeah, I think he looks great on the season right now, man. Certainly not Stephon Diggs, right? But he's playing good football. I'll tell you that much. I think he's a great young corner, right? And I think he really helps that Dallas offense be relevant in terms of fantasy football as well. So, yeah, he looks great, man. Lucky Heron, thank you for the question. Chase Brown, when's your next stream? Good night. Yeah, man, we should be on at some point tomorrow. Definitely be on late night Saturday and pre-kickoff on Sunday. So, appreciate all you guys. Shout out to all the new faces and all the new members of the Catch fam. Shout out to all of the members of the Catch fam in general. Really do appreciate you guys, man. And I got nothing else to say other than remember, you saw it.